towards the Hex after you have your Blink and all that sort of stuff. Whoa, this is interesting. MTS, they're going Storm Spirit and Tinker. Okay, this is a little bit unexpected, I gotta say.
I'm
How
kind
do you
of
feel like they're gonna lane this?
I kind of hope we see a jungle storm spirit. The last time I've seen that was probably pre 6.68 was the last time I saw a jungle storm spirit. It worked out pretty well. I mean, it doesn't work out as great as other junglers, but it still worked to an effect.
10
But I
seconds
think it's gonna. They have
remaining.
to put the Tinker in mid because Tinker he needs to get his boots up
5
and running.
seconds
Then so does the Storm Spirit. He
remaining.
needs to get those bigger items, but Tinker is more reliant on those items than the Storm Spirit because
Reserve
you need your
time.
fight boots. You need some items to be able to get these towers going around the map. I think we might see an aggressive tri-lane come out from a Crystal Maiden, Mirana, and Sark. Mirana will be rotated into the support role of this game with Sark as the aggressive, and then throw the Storm Spirit down on the safe lane by himself. But I think one of the biggest problems with that is if alphas are going for an aggressive tri-lane, before Storm Spirit hits level 6, you're going to find kills on him. He's got a slow movement speed, he's got no way of escaping. A Burrow Strike, Gale, he's dead. Then you add on top of that, you carry, Storm Spirit can't do anything, but you have to be careful MTS.eSports.
Yeah, that's true. At the same time, there's just a lot of damage coming out from them as well, from MTS. We'll see exactly how they play that. I think it's going to come down to, like, you know, both these lineups certainly have their own niches and advantages and disadvantages, obviously. And it's going to come down to how the early game plays out, how the teams communicate with each other and stuff like that. I feel like alphas are going to try to go for those early kills with the gyrocopter here as well. You got your slow, your 2 stuns as well there, and a rocket barrage. I feel like they should try lane and then rotate with the gyrocopter, Sand King, and Venomancer.
Hmm. So we're just waiting for heroes to pick up. Alphas are just waiting for the last player to ready up on their heroes so we can get into this game. But
10
in terms of the early
seconds
game,
remaining.
alphas, they have it. It comes down to MTS.eSports and how defensive they're going to want to play.
5
'Cause
seconds
they do have a little bit of aggression
remaining.
coming out from the Crystal Maiden Mirana, but it's not as much as a Venomancer and Sand King offer. And if those two get going and start a roll, then MTS.eSports could fall into a pit that they won't be able to get out of.
Prepare for battle.
Yeah, definitely. And let's introduce the teams here. On the side of MTS, we do have their captain and drafter, Dark Horse, on the Mirana. We do have Krakazilla Dolphin. On the Slark, we've got Yo-Yo on the Storm Spirit, Andy is on the Crystal Maiden, and last but not least, we've got Hookless Pudge on the Tinker.
And over on the side of Alpha, you do have your heroes. Chops will be rocking up on your Sand King. Oh, whoops. Why am I saying Chops? Fish and Chops will be rocking up on your Sand King. Actually, they're all Fish and Chops. I'm lost. T_N. TN will be picking up your Sand King for the 3rd time. Wilson123 will be taking your Gyrocopter. B2 on your Timbersaw. You have Pug on your Venomancer. And finally, rocking up the rear is some
458.
458. Okay, I was looking for that some kind of Russian. I was like, huh? But yeah, 458 will be picking up on your puck. I think that's probably the worst name intro I've ever had, and I've had to like say some very peculiar names.
Like that Decimus dude.
Oh man, there's this one game I was casting. I think it was between Rattlesnakes and Rising Stars. That was very hard for me. I kept saying the wrong names, trying to look at their Chinese names on the side of the on my second screen. You had the names that everyone's used to. Trying to like remember that and say that off by heart, just it ruined me the entire game.
It's not them, but off by heart. I'm just kidding, I know off by heart.
Oh man, I'm just bad with names in general. It's terrible. One day, one day.
Yeah. So MTS, they've just grouped up as, actually both teams grouped up as 5 opposite jungles. So nothing's gonna happen here, but both
30
trying to
seconds
do
to
some little bit of
battle.
aggression. They will have to back off though, and just go to their own lanes once they see that there's nothing going on. But yeah, this looks like it's gonna be a tri-lane coming out, and this is actually gonna be sort of what we were talking about before in terms of the Mirana semi-carry. I guess it's gonna be the position 1. But I'm quite curious to see who lanes where, because you've got Storm Spirit and
The
Tinker
battle
who both like
begins.
the mid lane.
Hmm.
No,
And a little bit of a thing to point out, Alpha doing a little nice teamwork here. They give 2 tangos over to 458 in mid lane so he can get that early bottle. So he's got 300 gold to go. That is 6 creep kills, which as a puck, you should be able to pick up fairly easy. I mean, you have 57, your auto attack damage is not the greatest. Your auto attack animation is pretty nice, and the attack speed of the attack going to the creep isn't too bad itself. Against the Tinker, who's also got 57, he shouldn't be denying it. You should be able to get some last hits and get that very early bottle.
Yeah, I was actually wrong. It's actually going to be a support Marana from Dark Horse. Carry Storm Spirit. The arrow does whiff there. Too far to the side. Andy is already going to be rotating at the top. Slakia, he should be fine by himself up against the Gyrocopter. And the Sand. But yeah, so currently Marana and Crystal Main, they're going to just roam around and try to find some kills very early on.
I'm a little bit surprised Alpha they don't want to go for a kill, go for the cutthroat and go for the kill against Slark. But then again, you do have a Sand King stun. You have
It's hard to kill him.
Yeah, I was about to say, you have a Sand King stun, you have the Gale, but it is hard to kill. So what they're doing here is they've rotated heroes around, they're sharing the XP, and they're locking down Storm Spirit. I mean, if they want to rotate Sand King down, they could find easy kills on Storm Spirit. I mean, they're just easy kills on Storm Spirit. There's nothing much else to say about that. Mirana and Crystal Maiden, there'd also be very particular kills if you wanted to rotate and look for them in the jungle. So instead, there will be a tri-lane from MTS.eSports that will be looking for a kill on either Pug or 82 or B2 if they're not careful. And speaking of kill, arrows come flying through. It doesn't land onto B2. It does hit that range creep, and scumbag Pug, he takes out the range creep and denies it.
Yeah, this is, like I said, this is a little bit awkward for MTS because these supports haven't been in lane at all. They've got no experience. Actually, Miranda has a little bit because she was in mid. But on the side of Alphas, Venomancer's already level 2. It does mean that Timbersaw is not going to get as much experience, but it doesn't matter because they've already shot down Storm Spirit. In fact, Slark might just be going on the Sand King here.
Just giving him a little bit of harassment, stealing the gold and XP hits level 3. If he wasn't stealing that XP, Sand King could be on level 2 himself and just jump into his Burrow Storm, or Sandstorm, not Burrow Storm, jump into his Sandstorm and not have too much happen to him. But so far this game, the last hits, MTS.eSports are doing well. Timbersaw down in bottom, he's got 10 for 4, Gyrocopter 11 for 0, and Puck in mid lane 9 for 3. So all 3 lanes winning in their last hits respectiveness.
That's Alphas, by the way. You said MTS.
Oops, my apologies.
It's all good though, but yeah, you're certainly correct. And the thing, the Tinker in mid, actually works well in my opinion, just because even with the phase shift, you can still pop down the marching machines. It's very expensive, but at the same time, you want to be trying to lane out this puck as much as possible. And you can just see it. Hookless Pudge on the Tinker is doing quite well in terms of last hits against the puck. But for now, I think it's just going to be quite passive between these two guys.
Yeah, so just throwing a little bit of damage against Yo-Yo on the Storm Spirit, trying to force him out and pop those consumables. So he's got 2 consumables, he's got 2 supports who are actually rotating, and they see it. Will the arrow land? And of course not. Nice creep wave timing coming in and saving B2 from any potential aggression there. They throw down a sentry. They know that he saw the arrow, but they do not get the sentry ward because they're very sneaky. Observer ward's placed a little bit lower, so they're not going to be able to find that. And they don't have any sentry. Oh, they still have a sentry left, but will they want to use it to get rid of the observer is another question.
Well, see, the thing here is if they try to use it now, they don't really know where it is, which is a problem. They know that this observer's there, so they're gonna have to risk placing another one for what they believe Alphas has vision of, but they don't know for sure.
And it's B2's just sitting behind these creeps, not having too much to do with that. Up at top lane, you have Dolphin. He is getting a lot of XP up. He's level 4, not as much as Gyrocopter as you would expect, but he's still being able to rig it in. Sand King is trying to get whatever he can from his creep waves. He's picked up level 2. He'll be finding level 3 shortly, so he's able to get the XP he so desires. He's on par with the other 2 supports on the MTS.eSports side, and we had to pick up level 3, but in terms of XP, it's fairly shared around the map. However, Alpha, they do have that little bit of XP advantage because they are running 2 dual lanes.
And Puck is a little bit ahead of the Tinker as well there. Puck hitting level 6 now, Tinker. Just needs just this wave will do it, I'd say. I gotta say that, you know, as you were saying before, the supports of MTS, they're a little bit, because they're roaming they're a little bit you know, under leveled, I guess, but they should start to pick up relatively soon. Particularly the Crystal Maiden, who can just go to the jungle and get some kills with Frostbite.
Pings are coming out. They want to go against this Timbersaw. There's an observer ward here, and he gets pinged out. The arrow is going to go nowhere. And this Mirana and Crystal Maiden, they're not doing anything down this bottom lane, and that's going in favor of Alpha because they're getting the XP, they're getting the gold, and well, these supports aren't doing anything. And we do have a little bit of TP support coming from the puck. Yeah, he's got his bottle, he's got a charge, he's got enough for a dream call, he's got a phase shift, but he doesn't have enough for his main 3 ability combinations. And Arrow's going to come flying through. It almost hits on Venomancer. If that had hit then, that could have been a false aggression come out from MTS.eSports. They would have jumped in, they would have been in a lot of trouble. Gale lands, they're coming in on Storm Spirit, he's taking a lot of trouble. Nice dream call, onto 3 heroes. We got the nice orb coming in. There's the first blood going towards the Timbersaw. And now, he's just going to run out of it. They won't be able to chase him down. They might want to go in for more.
Yeah,
Not going to be able to find it though, however.
See, that was a really smart rotation from Alphas. That puck moving in there to... And that's what you should be doing as a puck. I mean, he hit level 6, basically moved down, shutting down a Storm Spirit before he hits level 6. That's what you want to be doing, because once he hits level 6, it's really hard to kill because of Ball Lightning. Killing him at level 4, that's perfect timing, really, coming up from 4, 5, 8, and just the entire side of Alphas, really. Except for these 2 guys who are farming in top.
And Clark, he's still doing quite well up here. He's almost got his boots. I mean, he would have liked if he completed his boots by now. But what can you do against the Trilane? Especially, dual lane, especially when a Sand King is looking to kill you every waking second. They throw out the rocket, they're going to start chasing him down. They get 1 stun. He doesn't have his ultimate yet. He's still a little few creep ways off it. Nice damage coming from the rocket punch. There's the rocket, and there's the final auto attack after about 2 seconds of waiting. And it will pick off Slark, so... Well, they hit him for level 6, and that was a very close to level 6, so very nice timing once again coming up by Alpha.
Yeah, these guys, their timings on these kills are perfect, I gotta say. Even now, Yo-Yo, the Storm Spirit, he's only level 5. B2 on this Timbersaw is actually got more experience than him, which is actually a huge deal. Because you really want the Storm Spirit to hit level 6 as soon as possible, and we have a smoked up Venomancer.
I love
Bugs
this
moving down through this mid lane.
smoking, placing a ward so you make sure there's no way they know where that ward's being placed. He's going to rotate in behind Tinker. He does have boots though, and he's running at 355, which is pretty ridiculously fast for only a base boots Tinker. And now we have an initiation. Someone's going to miss, but the Gale, Dream Caller's juice. He's trying to stand and fight as much as he can. The rotation from Mirana, the arrow will land, it will kill, but they do get a counter kill. So a Venomancer for a Tinker. I believe Alpha, they are happy to take that.
It would have been nicer if they killed Tinker first, obviously, just because of the experience. But at the same time, as you said, they're going to be happy with that result.
And Puck,
I gotta say though, Dark Horse with the Mirana, that was a nice arrow.
yeah, he was there, he was waiting, they were looking to find a kill himself, so very nice positioning, a little bit lucky at the same time, but Puck, it's up to 1800 gold, almost at the Blink Dagger. If he can grab that Blink Dagger in 10 minutes, that's a ridiculously fast Blink Dagger down in bottom lane. They're doing a lot of damage to Yo-Yo. He's not level 6, he's hit level 6, but he gets killed before he can level up his Ball Lightning. And now Gale lands onto Squishy Maiden. She's got nowhere to go, she will fall, and that's a double kill going towards Alpha.
In the meantime, top lane, no. Saw the rocket going out. TN just wasn't quite close enough to follow it with the stun. But I mean, this is going great for Alpha so far. That Timbersaw, he's doing extremely well in terms of picking up his farm. He's got his arcane boots at the 9-minute mark, and he's still got 1.2k on him. So this might be a very quick bloodstone, and once he has that, he'll be able to absolutely jump into any team fight and cause so much damage.
And now we have Mirage. She's rotating up top. Can she get a lucky arrow? She's gonna reveal herself. Daytime vision gives her away. I think she might not know this, but that creep should have revealed her away. So see a little bit of defensiveness coming from that Gyro copter and sinking up top. Mid lane, there is 2 heroes. We have Ander, he is rotating. We got a TP support coming in. They're going in hard. We got the Slider. He's jumped in. He's caught 1. Gyro Crippling 4. Zip coming flying on through. They do have Sand King, but they do have a Sentry. So TN, he's not going to survive too long, and they will die. But the pings come down. They might start to push the bottom tower now that everyone's already gone and out of this lane. So They lose two heroes, the carry and a Sand King, but they might be able to pick up a tower in
Radiant's
the meanwhile.
bottom
So,
tower is under
all
attack.
not all bad for Alpha, but it's not what you want.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously not the greatest outcome, but even even then, it's Gyrocopter still at
Dire's
55
top
last
tower
hit,
is
which
under
is so
attack.
high. I mean,
Radiant's
compared to
bottom
the
tower
Storm
has
Spirit's level
fallen.
29, which is meant to be the carry, I think they're doing fine.
Mm.
Well, that Slark, he likes those extra little bit of gold, because if you can get a Slark on early, it's very
And
powerful.
Blink comes in, Dream Call. We have the orb. It's been thrown through. He breaks the orb. Gale hits. He's dead. He doesn't have mana.
Dire's top tower
One of the
is under
biggest problems
attack.
with a Slark is you need to pick up an early wand. Because if you can pick up a wand, you have the mana to be able to purge. You have the mana to go invisible. You have this additional mana and HP to allow you to survive. Because he didn't have a wand there, he couldn't purge off all the slow on him. He couldn't jump away, and well, he fell. So a nice TP reaction coming from Alpha to be able to take him down.
Totally agree there. You do need a wand. You should be picking up a wand on just about any hero, in my opinion. It's such an
Radiant's
amazing
top
item.
tower
I
is
mean,
under attack.
like even on supports, it just does so well. Supports, especially since it's squishy in those team fights, it can really help them out.
Mm. And there is a stack going on for the side of MTS.eSports for the Tinker. Tinker's been stacking that. Venomita, as he walked past, he threw a ward to check that out, and they know that stuff's going up. So they threw an actual observer ward as he walked past to make sure they're going to watch whenever Tinker goes up there. And possibly a smoke gank come around and kill that Tinker when he's busy working with that. Because if he's got no mana and you can hit him when he's doing that, he doesn't have a soul ring. So if he wastes all his mana throwing out those March on the Machines and reviving that, you could probably find a kill on him. So, nice little map awareness coming out from Alpha. I really like that. It's a nice play to be able to watch all the rotations and what's going on. They've made Yo-Yo and the Slug have no room on the map to farm with those two tier 1 towers going on either end lanes. Timbersaur's got entire free farm to work with, so he should have a fairly decent time in Bloodstone around the 17-minute mark unless he finds kills. And Pug, he's walked into it, he misses the gale, unfortunately, due to that ball of lightning, and he's out of there. Instant pop of the Moonlight Shadow. They do not want to lose any further heroes at the moment, but unfortunately it doesn't allow them to be aggressive with it.
Yeah, and this is like I'm just looking at the net worth here. This is not looking too good for MTS at the moment. The Tinker's the highest at just under 4.1. In fact, you just see 4.1 there, which is equal to the Timbersaw.
Dire's middle tower is under
And
attack.
as a mid, you should be a little bit better than that. Like Timbersaw was basically the off lane. He did have support there from Venomancer, but at the same time, it's having a Timbersaw equal you and having a Tinker as your highest. It's really detrimental because you really want that Slark and also that Storm Spirit to be up there, and there's pretty much nowhere near Gyrocopter and the Puck.
With this Tinker, one of the big things I like but hate is he's working on his Ancients. He TPs away before the Ancients dies. He gets the gold, but he misses out on the XP, and those big Ancients, they give a lot of XP. He could be 10, possibly even 11 right now if he'd stayed around and sat next to those big Ancients when they die, except he's lost about a level and a half, and now he's in mid lane. He will pick up his level 10 now and defend that mid tower as well.
Yeah. In the meantime, Puck.
Radiant's
Let's see
bottom
what
tower is
what
under
the Puck
attack.
picks up next in terms of items. Already has the blink as we mentioned before. Got it before 10 minutes, so very fast. In fact, they could probably jump on this Tinker if they want to. There's no
Dire's
mana.
top tower is under attack.
And they will be TPing in that
Very low
Gyrocopter. They will be walking towards doing whatever damage. They're going to trade. I mean, why not? We'll get the final tier 1 tower of this game and you've got all the map position. They're going to grab your safe lane, but tier 1 tower mid is just, that's what you want, especially against an aggressive lineup as Alpha's been running so far.
Yeah, I do agree. Even if MTS rotate here, which I feel like they shouldn't,
Tower is under attack.
Alphas are gonna have a good chance to
Structures
absolutely
are
destroy him.
fortified.
And I really like this, the
In fact,
Sand
the
King.
TP is
He
coming.
threw down the ward down here. He knows the TPs are coming in. They all know it. He's getting into it. He's got the epicenter. Can we see hero epicenter? They jump in. Silence. He's put into the burrow strike. He's not showing his epicenter, but that is a 3-man dream call. They turn it back around. We do see the Pucky will fall. The cooldown will burn down the Crystal Maiden. That's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Fish and Chop. B2 is coming in. He's going to get pulled back in. He's trying to use his self. He's not going to be able to do too much. Will they lose the third hero? They will lose the third hero for absolutely, or almost absolutely nothing. Fish and Chops. Alpha Fish and the Fish and Chops T_N. He will die. That is 4 heroes dead on the side of Alpha, and that's a massive turnaround coming from MTS.eSports. But that was a big misplay. If Sanking had thrown out that epicenter at the start, that would have been a lot of damage before MTS.eSports could have done anything.
I agree. It was just an awkward engagement. Well, it was a good engagement initially, but then there was the follow-up was weird, I should say. They didn't, as you said, the epicenter. He ended up casting it, but he got 1 pulse off in terms of damage because he got blocked. He was stuck behind trees and he had to walk around, and only 1 pulse ended up hitting the Crystal Maiden, I think it was. But yeah, it basically completely wasted his ulti there, and it really could have helped them out in that fight. And afterwards, they were sort of a little bit spread out. Didn't really.
Down on bottom lane, Ticker's taking a lot of damage.
Really continue on.
Never mind. Sorry. I thought B2 was going to go in further then. He's doing a lot of damage. Actually, he's going back in. But the zip coming in from the Storm Spirit. But he does pick off the Tinker. He will die himself to Yo-Yo. Was it worth it? Tinker and a Timbersaw. Who got the better trade?
In my opinion, the Timbersaw got the better trade there. I mean, you fed a kill to the Storm Spirit, but you killed off a Tinker who also needs gold, also needs that farm to really become big. He already helps out in those team fights, so it just costs much machines and the rockets and stuff, but really shutting him down, and Timbersaw, he gets the royal gold from that, he gets the experience. I'm not sure, in fact, yeah, I'm pretty sure he just got his chakram from that kill as well at level 2, so that's more damage that he's going to be doing now.
And now Crystal Maiden working towards whatever she is. She gets a few creep kills in the mid lane. Free to have that herself. Rowan's going to be trying to stack in, trying to get as much as they can, continuing for the Tinker, which actually, they're ancient stacks. They haven't touched that for the last 6 or 7 minutes. Tinker was very proficient about that at the start, and now nothing. He's going to jump in here as I say that and clean up these creeps, but if they'd continued stacking that, they could have continued grabbing a lot more gold for this Tinker. He does have his Blink Dagger, he does have TP Birds, which is very good at the moment. I'd like to see a Soul Ring, because having a Soul Ring means you always have enough mana to be able to blink away and TP. Without that, you might be in a little bit of an issue if you're throwing around abilities and you need to get out of there by TPing. But we'll see how well that comes into effect.
Yeah, well, he actually just picked up that Soul Ring as you were saying it. In the meanwhile though, we do have a BKB up on Gyrocopter, so now that he has that, he's going to be going for his big items, which is actually very scary. The BKB on Gyrocopter, this is going to shut down a lot of the damage that MTS.eSports can dish out, especially onto him.
Well, that is very, very well played by
Nice
Alpha.
ward.
Yeah, that ward's been down there for a while. They had another ward that they originally placed earlier on. They had all the vision of the Moonlight Shadow. And, well, what did MTS do? They used Moonlight Shadow, they got found out, they ran home. So now, what does Alpha do? Well, we'll go attack Roche. We have wards, we have a lot of damage coming towards it, and we can tank it up. And MTS.eSports, they don't know about any of this, because once again, another nice sentry ward coming by Alpha, being very, very strong on the sentries. So the supports are playing absolutely fantastic on Alpha, and because of that, they're getting this early advantage. They're getting a Roshan as of now, and they've got the first tier 3 towers of the game.
Yeah, this is I mean, that's obviously the Gyrocopter, and now that like, you kill him once and he just pops back up. I'm not sure if he'll pop his BKB initially, honestly. I feel like he might hold off the BKB, let the Aegis pop, and then BKB afterwards if he finds it that he needs it. And the reason I say that is because your BKB only, killing bottom.
Yep, they did take out the Crystal Maiden quite easily. We jumped on in, threw out that Dream Coil, picked off the Crystal Maiden, and, well, there was a little bit of reactionary TP coming in, but it wasn't fast enough. They were in and out before they could react.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, because the BKB on Gyrocopter, it loses its duration over time. You don't want to be popping it too early, whereas the Aegis, one way or another, it expires in 6 minutes, so you should use it as effectively as you can.
And what are your thoughts on a Mirana picking up a Midas? I mean, There was a time where
It's
every
weird.
support picked up a Midas because of how cheap the Midas was, and then they nerfed the Midas so people like the Crystal Maiden can't get the Midas as early on as possible. But it's a little bit strange. Do you think she still wants to try and help carry this game? Do you think the additional attack speed will help her? Or do you think she should have probably used it earlier on? Put the money towards, say, the mechanism as she's going now, and they could have had that for an earlier team fight, so to speak.
Honestly, I mean, the Midas choice is weird, but I
Oh,
actually
down and bottom
like
lane, they're
it
going to
because
Yo-Yo.
if you look
They've
at
popped the Moonlight Shadow, they've got Silence, and they have enough burst damage. He's going to zip away before the Silence, and after the Silence ends, and he's going to survive.
yeah, Crystal Maiden won't be able to get it as well. I was just gonna say, if you actually look at her last hits, she's only got 12 last hits on the Mirana. Um, and that's not a lot. That's not enough to get you that mechanism very quickly. By picking up this Midas, she's basically getting all her last hits from the Midas, which basically, it's reliable gold. It means eventually you'll get that mechanism, and it's not going to be that. It's not going to be horribly slow either. It'll probably be around the 22, probably 23-minute mark, which I mean, it's not the fastest Midas, but it's not bad either.
Man,
Especially on Miranda, who didn't have the best of early games. Like, tried to roam around a lot, tried to get those arrows, but unfortunately, Alphas was just way too good in terms of the vision.
man. Well, someone we haven't seen for a very long time. Wilson123. He's up top here. He's farming away. He's the highest net worth in the game. He's got boots. He's got Aegis. He's got BKB. And now he's coming down to work on a massive stack that Alphas have been working on for a while. And this is going to be very, very juicy. He's going to pop that away, start doing some auto attack damage. Unfortunately, he doesn't have anyone to tank it for him. He doesn't have a creep as of yet to help hold that up. But look at all that gold. He's just picked up 120 gold. He's got a lot more gold sitting there and waiting. He's just going to skyrocket a net worth.
Yeah, it really is. I gotta say though that MTS have done a really good job of coming back in that net worth graph. Um, just ensuring that, like, currently we've got Tinker and Slark who's up there now as well. Storm Spirit's still a little bit lower than you'd like, but I think they're gonna be happy with it. It was basically because of that mid engagement. It really brought them back into the game. That's so much gold.
He picked up about 800 gold there. Then they're going to pop the smoke and start walking for a kill. But at the same time, they might not find anything because MTS.eSports, they're up in the top lane. They're going to TP back to mid lane, or at least the Crystal Maiden was, and the rest of MTS.eSports give up on their hunt themselves.
Yeah, I gotta say that this Slark is starting to get some good gold and items going on as well. He's got his Shadow Blade. I suspect he might eventually go for the, or soon go for the bashes. That's quite good on Slark. And then if he decides to turn that Orb of Venom into a Skadi is yet to be seen, but that's another option as well. And Andy pops the
And we
smoke.
have the stone coming on in. The arrow is going to whiff by a mile. Not going to happen. We got the Timso doing a lot of damage. Venometa throws out the poison nova. Zipping coming on. He will find himself a Venometa, but that's 2 heroes down. That is 3 heroes down. Going down for MTS.eSports. They're still working on their final one. And, well, they're not going to find it. The last 2 heroes will get out of there. But he found 3 heroes. A carry, a nice, juicy semi-carry support, and a support. So, very nice pick off for Alpha.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to get this tier 2 tower with Tinker being annoying with his rockets, but at the very least they can do some chip damage to it.
And Tim saw he's now got 11
But
charges
that
on
was-
his Bloodstone. That's juicy.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I was gonna say, that fight was sort of like the fight that went well for MTS before, except now it's gone well for Alphas. In fact,
There's zipping on in. It's going to be Wilson. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. Reclaimed in a minute, so the Aegis will pop. They will at least burn down the Aegis, but then this gives them a little chance to a counter initiation from Alpha. They're going to save him. A nice arrow lands onto 458. Can they find the kill? Can she blink on out of there? She can blink if she needs to. They do silence, but they will trade a puck for the Storm Spirit, and now they're still going on in. Nice barrage strike onto 2 heroes. Can they find the kill? She leaps, but the final little hit from the Gyrocopter will pick off that kill, and it will fall, and that is 3 kills once again going in favor of Alpha, and they've just taken this game by the scruff.
Middle tower has been denied.
Wow, that was really good. Losing a puck doesn't matter when you kill our 3 heroes. That was actually really, really huge. And just look at this Timbersaw, 14 charges on that Bloodstone now. Even if he does die, it's just going to be instant respawn pretty much. this Drycopter as well. I mean, I spoke about how using the Aegis effectively before, and he didn't pop his BKB there. He held off. You know, he was relatively low health. A lot of players, we see them pop BKB because they start to panic. But he kept his cool. The Aegis popped, came back to full health. It didn't even end up using his BKB after that. It just dished out damage. That's really what he should be doing. I mean, that Aegis was about to expire in about a minute and a half anyway. Now he has his Eagle Song. Great players coming out here from Alphas, gotta say. These guys are pretty good.
One thing I want to point out is this is probably the most ugliest curve I've ever seen. I just don't like it. It's like a pig. That's a fly pig. Ugh.
I thought it was a bear.
Oh, it's a bear.
That sort of has like a
could
mechanical.
be a bear. Wow.
Has like a mechanical beetle wings.
I just don't like that. I think that's ugly.
It's a bear.
Well, that bear is not
But yeah,
ugly.
it does look weird.
Some bears, lots of bears, especially bear cubs, are usually cute. But that one is just no. It takes the cake for ugliest.
Yeah, it's like it. Yeah, it's like they I don't know, strapped a bunch of mechanical weird. I don't know. It's just weird in general.
So MTS.eSports, they're in a little bit of a pickle. They are behind by 4,000 XP. Not as far as you think they would be at the moment. They're still holding on. And only 6k gold. So they can still come back into this. They're definitely not out by a long shot. They just need to make sure they pick off these key heroes. That puck, if Alpha gets the initiation first, MTS.eSports are in a lot of trouble. If MTS.eSports can find the initiation, they will win the fight. However, you look at their heroes, they don't have much of that initiation. You have a Storm Spirit to zip on in there, and he puts himself in a very big dangerous position for Alpha to turn back around. You have a stun, you have a silence, both of those will shut down the Storm Spirit. You have a Sluck who can jump in there, lock down a few heroes with his pounce, and then jump it invisible. You can't see him while he's invisible. So that is nice lockdown there. And that's your reliable, safe kind of initiation. But you look at Alpha, they have Timbersaw, he can jump in wherever he wants. Venomance is happy to sacrifice his life. Sand King, once he gets on in there, he'll start causing havoc. He's working towards his Blink Dagger now. And finally, you have your Puck who's looking to get on in there. They have all this initiation, and it's working out wonders for them. MTS.eSports, they need to grab the initiation, and they need to take this game back. If they allow Alpha to control this game, then I don't think MTS.eSports come back into it. But at the moment, MTS.eSports, they need to make the next move.
Yeah, there's about 30 seconds until the Roshan spawns as well. And I think that once that gets scattered by Alphas, they're just going to go for Roshan and then just go for the last tier 2 and then potentially a tier 3 depending on how the engagement goes for them. This Gyrocopter is getting huge, and one of the big things is that besides the Tinker who just picked up his Hex, there isn't too many big items on this side of MTS. They have nothing on the Slack essentially besides the I mean, the Shadow Blade's nice, but it looks like he's going for a BKB, which is very defensive, and you need something to shut him down.
We have a Scythe coming out. Wilson 1, 2, 3. He's in a lot of trouble. He will get picked off, but a Silence comes in from the Puck. Puck, will he be able to do enough? He was not able to jar up Diffel. And once again, another Scythe comes out onto Pug. Pug, he will fall. They picked up the initiation, and they take the advantage. This is what they needed to do. This is what they found, and this is how they are coming back into this game. And Roshan, he's also down. If they spot this out and they go for the Roshan themselves, they have a 30-second leeway of finding it. However, they are pinging the tower, and they might be just going for the tower itself.
Yeah, they've only got one tier 1 tower. As I was saying, they don't have big items, although that engagement is exactly what they needed. At this sort of point in the game, you'd like your Storm Spirit to be moving towards his, or like, already well on his way towards the next item. He still only has an open malevolence, and I mean, for example, that engagement there was really good for MTS. They really coordinate that well, but they need to do a lot more of that to really come back into this game, because currently Alphas, I still feel like they have a pretty good lead. You just have to make sure their engagements are much better. Sorry.
And we have a nice Silence Gale landing onto a Slack. A little bit strange you didn't want to use that Purge to get rid of it, but he's just going to get healed up from that mechanism and the ability just to hide from everything. One of the strongest passive abilities in the game, coming from your ultimate. You walk away and and you can't be spotted by the other team. You get 5% healing rate of your max health. That is absolutely phenomenal. So you're up to full health. you basically never need to go back to base. Another fantastic thing you can do about it is rotate around the map. Once you get spotted and you can't see what's spotting you, you know there is a ward. So you have even better chances for your team to counter ward and get rid of vision on the opposing side. Zark in general is just a very strong hero that once he got introduced into Captain's Mode, he got picked up a lot and became one of the favourite heroes, purely because his ultimate being able to completely shut down any vision other teams have. And now with his ultimate buffed again, where he's got superior invisibility, oh, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and actually there's a ward here, which I
Radiant
know that alphas
structures
are up
are
to something.
fortified.
What? That's a glyph. It was just popped. That was a misclick there, surely. MTS aren't going to be too happy about that, but it looks like they want to go in for an engagement here.
And they're going to jump on in, and they burst down the Venom as he doesn't even put his poison over him. BKB has popped, they're doing a lot of damage. We have a Sun Stream Core. Do we have an Epicenter? We have an Epicenter! Epicenter is ripping through these heroes. It's doing a lot of work. Now they're chasing around. BKB has popped out. Timbersaw, he jumps on in. He doesn't care for his life. They're still chasing down Yo-Yo. They will pick him up. Can they find Dark Horse? They do not. He does get the TP out of there. Saki's in a lot of trouble. They're going to chase him away. Sankey survives, but that is, once again, another massive initiation. This time, coming from Alpha, they turn it back around on top of MTS.eSports, who thought they could find a little cheeky pickoff. They found the cheeky pickoff, but they just couldn't find the sustainability, and now they're going to rotate towards Roshan.
One for free, and yeah. Oh, excuse me there. MTS can't do anything to defend this. You have a gyrocopter now who has a butterfly. Puck just picked up the Cypher Vice, and there's a pipe of Insight on Timbersaw. This is, he's so tanky, 17 Bloodstone charges already. How are you gonna kill him? Just how?
You don't.
I mean,
You aim for everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, there's some decent right click on the side of MTS, but he has, he can get those armor stacks very, very quickly, so... And there's a Blink Dagger now on Sand King. You spoke before about how... It's just in the career heading his way, but you spoke before about how you generally don't see him picked up because he's reliant on that sort of, those sort of items. And doesn't matter because it's working out for him now. He's got that Blink Dagger, doesn't have to worry about anything else, basically. Anything else in terms of items now is a luxury.
Yeah, I mean, all you can do now is just buy wards. That's all you need to worry about now. As you said, Blink Dagger, the only key item you need on a Sand King. The Arcane Boots is also the second major item. Once you have those two, well, it doesn't matter what you do. I wouldn't mind if he goes towards and maybe picks up a pipe towards their team. But actually we have initiation. Slark jumps on in. Zip coming in from Yo-Yo. They're doing a lot of damage. Cooldown lands onto two heroes. Will be enough. Reduces the Aegis being popped with the Duelist Tinker for the Aegis. Will be worth it. I guess you pop the Aegis, but Tinker's now down, and luckily, Storm Spirit, he dies. He doesn't get back to base. The poor guy.
Oh wow.
Oh,
That's really unfortunate.
he should have been trying to Ball of Lightning to avoid some of the ticks of damage and to get back to base faster. But wasn't the case. He did die. And there goes the tier 3 tower. Buyback from the Tinker. Trying to hold off this push. It's doing a lot of damage. The Rockets come fine through. They have the side. BKB up on the side. Can he get on in it? He's doing a lot of damage. The Epicenter not doing any work because the BKB is still up on the side. On that 9-second BKB, he's ripping through Venomancer. He does get scythed up. He's in a lot of trouble. Can he get out of it? He can't. He will fall. This is a very big fight coming from Alpha. Now they're chasing down Pudge. Pudge, he's doing a lot of damage. He's now sitting behind the tier 3 towers. They've got to continue. He's trying to TP out. He does get the TP, but he does die. The Dream Coil is popped and will kill him in the fountain. That is unfortunate. Alpha, they will be picking up the tier 3 and the racks to follow.
Radiant's middle barracks have fallen.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Storm Spirit and Tinker, they're dying. Well, Tinker in the fountain and Storm Spirit just outside. But that's a Rax, and this is not looking good for MTS. I mean, they managed to kill off the Gyrocopter there, thanks to some nice arrows, but unfortunately, just it still fell apart for them. The rest of these heroes are now also very large. Sand King, his Epicenter didn't do too much to Slark, but certainly did a ton of damage to that Mirana. Brought her down very low very quickly. What did Timbersaw just pick up there? Booster travel, okay. But this is getting to the point where it doesn't matter how, if the Storm Spirit manages to pick up his next items in the next 2 minutes, it's just your rack's down. that gyro is out of control, that Timbersaw is out of control, that puck is pretty much out of control at this point as well. It's going to be very hard for them to come back. They have to find some really nice pickoffs, some really nice arrows, and some good engagements.
And then we have Puck. She's looking to find a little bit of kill. She jumps on in Dark Horse. And, well, no more Dark Horse. He has been taken out again. He won't be racing up the rear and taking the victory in this at the moment. There's just so much damage coming from Alpha. Now they're jumping on in. Sark's trying to find whatever he can. He holds the Timbersaw underneath the tower, but Timbersaw just chains away. He gets psyched up. They're still trying to chase him down. It is a 3v2. Do they have enough to kill him? He's taken a lot of damage. He will not fall. He gets away. That is very unfortunate. Can the Puck also get away? She's phase shift. She silences instead of blinks, so she will die. Yo-Yo will die for his insolence as well, so he's going to get out. Hookless punch. He gets burst down, but freaking get away. And now Alpha, they turn this back around. They find 3 kills, and you just have a little look at that gold graph. Over the last 6 minutes, it came from a 4,000 gold, a 2,000 XP advantage in favor of Alpha, and then it's just tripled, quadrupled in favor of Alpha after those 2 major team fights and the racks. And well, what can MTS.eSports do now?
Radiant's middle tower is
I don't know if
under
they can do
attack.
anything at this point, honestly. Like, if I was in the situation of MTS.eSports, I'd be
Radiant
praying for
structures
some,
are
I don't know, some
fortified.
nice RNG with hooks or something, because this Gyrocopter is huge. He's got 3k, or almost 3k gold sitting in the bank. If he was to pick up something like a Satanic as his next item, he'd be literally unkillable because of that BKB, 9 seconds as well. This Timbersaw didn't die there, 22 stacks on his bloodstone, absolutely
And
insane.
then we have another initiation. Sark jumps on and BK's B up. He's not taking too much damage because he is invisible. And then we have the Epicenter trying to work through Yo-Yo. Silent King stuns through, picks off the Dark Horse once again. And this will be the second Rax goal from the game. And I would say this would be game over for MTS.eSports. Alpha, they've taken such a big lead. They've got the items, they've got the damage, and MTS.eSports, whatever they do, they just can't make it work. And there we go. GG's are called, and Alpha will be taking their first match of the game as a victory.
Yeah, I mean, this is... I think a lot of people were expecting MTS to do really well. And Alphas aren't a team that we're familiar with, but they're doing really well. It looks like they're going to be doing really well in this group, because they just... I mean, it was a very close match, don't get me wrong, but once they got rolling, they didn't let the advantage go back to MTS. They kept it on their side. I was just extremely well played, and yeah, we'll hope to see a lot more of that sort of stuff coming out throughout the day. This has been a Defense of the Australians broadcast. I've been Zara, joined by Dota Yoshi. A big thank you to our sponsors, Weta. You can follow me at twitch.tv/Zolaref or at Twitter at ZolarefDota, and you can follow Dota Yoshi at youtube.com/DotaYoshi or on Twitter at Dota Yoshi. We'll be back